Well, the time had finally come. After 9 months of building out my used Ram ProMaster, it was time to head a couple hours north to Charles Deam Wilderness for its maiden voyage. First stop of many, with at least a year on the road, if not 2 or 3, exploring the U.S. for adventure, whether it be riding, pedaling, or just hiking and camping. Come along for the journey. Charles Deam Wilderness was named after Charles Clement Dean. He was the first state forester of Indiana back in the late 1800s and early 1900s. His primary focuses were botany and sustainable practices. The wilderness area consists of Blackwell Horse Camp for RVs and such, as well as various primitive sites, but they are hike-in only. Blackwell Horse Camp is fairly small and caters to horseback riders, if that wasn't obvious, but it's very nicely kept and not a lot of traffic. All of the sites are dispersed, so you have up to 14 days free of charge. It's a bit strange the first time to think you can actually stay somewhere so nice for free. On the drive up, I was thinking of everything I could possibly do, but once I arrived and got situated, I reminded myself I had nothing but time. I relaxed outside for a bit, then chose a couple of items crammed into the packed freezer and caught up on some favorite YouTube channels. Turns out the separate toilet wants to make sure you know when your urine tank's full. Sleeping in a cheap whorehouse, night 1. Then it was over to Grub Ridge Trail for a nice long hike. Very easy trail through a dense wooded area with some really cool dispersed camping sites tucked back between the towering trees. Then, about an hour into the hike, I run into this guy. Probably hard to tell in here, but that's a big-ass snake. What are you? Are you a fucking rattlesnake? That's a fucking rattlesnake. "20 minutes of cat and mouse and an old man sprint past. It takes 2 to 3 hours, but the trail leads you right to the shoreline of Lake Monroe with some amazing campsites. I just want you to remember this spot and these pristine lakes. I'll circle back around later. Can you find the frog? Lazy morning at camp, then decided to unload the WR and take a look around some more. It's out of gas, so it looks like a road trip. And man, what a road. Lots of old cemeteries tucked off these old forest roads, so I went back to check one out. Notice anything different? Remember when I pointed out that spot on the hike and my pristine legs? That was Chiggerland, and I knew it. So, no more shoes for a while. It's really a blessing in disguise. Just means that now I can take this week, sit back, relax, enjoy the van, just enjoy the solitude and finally being out on the road. Hey there, welcome to my office. So I wanted to try and do a product review for each of these episodes. Just thought it might come in handy for some folks. This has been one of my favorite items for years now, and it's very suitable for van life. It's called the Coffee Gator Cold Brew Maker. I didn't really shoot video for a product review, but this thing's pretty straightforward, so I'm just going to show you all my morning routine while I give y'all some of the details. Available on Amazon just like everything else. 47 ounce capacity, glass carafe, a rubber seal and lid, and then a screen. It'll fit in your refrigerator door. The thing's super easy to clean, super easy to use. Dump a bunch of coffee in there, put it in the carafe, fill it all the way up. You just place it in your refrigerator for 24 hours. Sometimes the lid's tough to get off, but that's, nitpicky. It's cheap. I think it was around $15 when I bought it years back, and I checked the latest one, and I think it was $16, $17 on Amazon. And there's no filters, no paper filters, no waste. I'll grab that link from Amazon and throw it down below so you know which one I'm talking about. Feel free to add a shot of Windex if you're feeling rowdy. Make a big breakfast, lounge around the van, and chat with the flies. There's a lot of flies. And then I get a reply from Nate Murphy, who's a YouTube guy that showcases van builds, requesting that I send him some photos. So, no plans, it's cleanup and photo shoot day. Looks like I have an assistant. I'll give you all a quick preview. Got some new neighbors, and one of them is Jim. He's an old school van builder, so I go over and check out his rig. Okay, so I want to try and do a what I learned or pros and cons piece for these videos each week. I think this week I'm going to go with what I learned. I'm going to have to reference my notes for these, so bear with me. Dispersed camping is super cool. It's amazing to me that you can pull into a place that's super pretty, typically has access to something, either something to go see, some hiking trails, something along those lines, a lake, maybe some lake access, and stay there for up to 2 weeks free of charge. Kind of blows my mind. Okay, I like to be pretty humble, but this van build is pretty legit. Like, it came out really well. It's roomy, which was key. Very homey and comfortable, which was another one of my key priorities. And it has everything I need. Part of the plan for this initial 3 or 4 weeks in Indiana was to see if there was anything else I needed. So, one of the things that I ordered right off the bat was the bug wall screens. Looking forward to getting those in and getting those installed. It's just that you can only move so much air through here, even with the 2 max air fans. You do realize that if you have the cargo door and the back doors open, it does cool things down considerably. In addition, as far as the van is concerned, I am learning to placate the solar. I wasn't aware that the window of voltage on the lithium batteries was so small. Basically from a drop from 100% down to 20% is 0.7 volts. That's taken a little getting used to, but just part of it. The other was the water. I got a 20-gallon tank. 2 gallons a day was a very conservative estimate, so I figured just me wanting to be off grid for a couple of weeks, 20 gallons would do the trick without any problem. And I'm low after 7 days, so I'm not out. And obviously, being the first weekend, maybe I was being a little lazy about stuff, but I'll be curious to see how that pans out, because I really thought I would be fine on water for these first 2 weeks, but not the case. What else? The isotherm fridge. In hot weather, especially hot, humid weather, you're gonna need to defrost the freezer every 7 to 10 days. It starts icing up real bad, decreases capacity, obviously is going to make the thing work harder. It's not a huge deal, just kind of makes a little bit of a mess, more of a pain than anything. And last but not least, with Flyswatters, like so many other things, you get what you pay for. I was super desperate and very happy to find one at the tiny little general store, but it was so flimsy that it would bend mid-swat, and so the fly got to see his imminent death in slow motion and was able to escape. And then of course it broke within a week anyway. Actually, I found some great ones on Amazon. They're telescopic and sturdy, and I'll tell you what, I would throw that link down below as well. Yeah, and I think that's it for this week. There'll be some more coming up for sure, and we'll just kind of see how the format goes and go from there. Still laid up with the chiggers, but beautiful weather. I figured it would be a perfect day to try and get some time in on the drone. There are a lot of different controls that you need to coordinate to make things look smooth. Right now though, so long as I have the ability to go up and get some really good aerial shots, that makes it well worth it to me. I'm starting to lose track of days already, but decide a brief mountain bike ride in flip-flops is in order. I spend the entire evening trying to catalog, trim, and organize photos and footage from the past few days, and reward myself with chocolate chip cookies. Another very chill morning. Then I decide it's time to motivate a bit. So I get a little grooming done, then try and come out with a workout plan with this set of elastic bands. If you all want to join along, here's the current routine. Well, folks, thanks for watching. If there's other things y'all'd like to know about, or maybe you want some more information about something in one of these videos, just post up down below. I'll be altering content kind of based on subscribers' feedback, so feel free to share some input with me. Also hoping to start a Q&A section if I can help folks with some insight based on my experiences. So please, if there's anything you're curious about, post down below and I'll answer your questions in an upcoming video. Next week we're headed to Hearted Ridge Recreation Area to spend some time on the lake and try out the kayak and the paddleboard for the first time. Plus it'll be nice to see what it's like to live in the lap of luxury. Come on back. For now, peace out.